Hey everybody, welcome to Breakfast All Day. Matt, Christy, Alonso, talking about Trey Edward Shults' Waves, catching up on this one. It is making its way through award season at the moment.
I have not caught waves.
It's making waves in the award season.
I haven't caught waves.
Catch waves and you're sitting on top of the world.
Yes. I'll describe it.
Sure,
why not? So this is about an affluent family in suburban, is it like Tampa, Florida? It's like southwestern Florida.
Somewhere in Florida, yeah.
Anyway, and they are
Is this Florida?
Yes, this is Florida. They are a wealthy black family in suburbia. Sterling K. Brown is the dad, and I'm blanking on who the wife is. Oh my God, Renee Elise Goldsberry. Thank you.
Yeah,
and Kelvin Harrison Jr. and Taylor Russell are their kids.
Yes.
And it is about. God, it's about so much. So much happens in this that I don't really know how to describe. But essentially, it is about a family trying to excel, not just survive, but thrive in a really predominantly white neighborhood. And they're on their way to doing that with a lot of pressure from Sterling K. Brown as the dad, who really, really drives his kids and especially drives his son, played by Kelvin Harrison Jr., who is this like star wrestler, star athlete, like all the pressures on him to go forth and succeed. Not unlike the character he plays in Loose, actually, Matt. And something happens, and that changes everyone's trajectory.
That sounds also exactly like the character that he played in.
The police shooting movie,
No, the
Men and Monsters?
no, the
Monsters and Men.
what was the hotel movie where he's the hitman? Sorry, I was trying to make a joke and couldn't remember.
I can't remember. Anyway, so there's a lot that
You
happens.
failed us again.
Sorry.
Matt.
There's a lot that happens here. I realize I'm describing it really poorly and really vaguely, but you kind of have
The
to.
first half of the movie is kind of the son's story, and then the second half of the movie is the daughter's story. I think we could sort of say
That's
that
fair.
much.
That's fair.
Yeah.
This has been Trey Edward Shults. This is his third film.
Yes.
And if you saw Krisha and you liked that segment in Krisha where the camera goes around the island in the kitchen during the Thanksgiving cooking and everything kind of goes to hell while the camera's circling. This is like, that's the whole movie, is the camera circling. The
yes,
camera
it is.
circling to suggest chaos.
And that's kind of my problem with
Me
this
too,
movie.
me too.
It is over directed.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh my God, could you just calm down and
Right.
like let these actors act and let the story unfold and stop swooping around? I almost feel like the story is there to serve the cinematography and not vice versa.
That's a great
and
way to phrase it,
that's
yeah.
a brand of filmmaking, but I don't think it's necessarily what they're out to do here, because he also wants to be telling you this story, but it's so distracting. Like there's a line that Steven Soderbergh uses in the book that he did that's interviews with Richard Lester, where he talks about how there are certain directors who like to stand between the audience and the screen and wave their arms around, and I felt like that's what Shults was doing the entire time.
Yeah, and when he does settle down, and as you phrase it, when he does let his actors act, it can be quite lovely, and it
Sure.
can be quite moving to such an extent that it like makes you yearn that he. I don't know, and I don't think it's a lack of confidence, because he has a lot of confidence in his
Clearly.
technical abilities. I mean, it begins with this shot circling around the inside of a car,
Yeah, where I don't even
going
know
down the
how that
freeway,
even
how they did it
happened.
over and over again, and the camera is constantly moving and roving, and I understand that it's meant to convey a sense of anxiety and of tension and of flux, and his characters are going to be in flux throughout, but there's got to be a way to do that that's not like headache inducing.
Yeah, it's all too much. And also there's the whole issue of like, yes, I think there's an interesting story to be told about the idea of black excellence, and that like it's not enough that, Sterling K. Brown has a line early on, like, we aren't afforded the luxury of being average. We have to be 10 times better than everybody else. And that's a thing that I've seen discussed by black authors and artists, and I think it's a thing that's certainly interesting to be approached. I don't know that a white filmmaker is the guy to tell this story.
That's part of it too.
And so that just felt a little like he was sort of visiting, I don't know. There was something about a lot of the choices here that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But that said, like, Kelvin Harrison Jr. is great.
Taylor Russell.
Yeah, I was going to say Russell Taylor. I knew that wasn't right. There's the boyfriend.
Lucas Hedges.
God,
The ubiquitous Lucas
all the
Hedges.
names are flying out of my head
My
today.
brain's been a sieve lately too.
Yeah.
though. Are we
Hotel
getting old?
Artemis.
Hotel Artemis.
Wow, well, that was worth dragging the show down to get that joke out.
Speaking of our brains being a sieve, we can't remember anything anymore. It's the end of the year.
Well, yeah, Lucas Hedges is quite good. Sterling K. Brown, of course, always. But yeah, I tried to like follow this movie where it wanted me to go, and I just kept being distracted
by the camera work, right?
Yeah.
And it does settle down somewhat in the second half when it becomes Taylor Russell's story.
Very much so, yes.
And to the film's benefit. But then you see the relationship that she has with Lucas Hedges, who is this really sweet guy who takes an interest in her. And I've seen the argument that he serves as kind of an unfortunate white savior figure. But I would argue, contrary to that, they kind of save each other. Like they need each other.
Yeah, no, she's as much there for him as
Right.
vice versa. So I mean, like, yeah, I don't know that I necessarily buy that, but I see the point.
Yeah,
I see what
I
they're
think that they are there for each other, and he can't help but be good. He's always good, and Taylor Russell's a real find. I mean,
Yeah.
and because especially in the first half, she is kind of the quiet one
Off to the sideline.
in a family full of like big personalities and big dreams. She's kind of just there quietly, and then you realize how important she's been all along to the fabric of the family.
Right.
Why don't you see what her perspective is?
After tragedy strikes, she's sort of the one who's there to kind of pick up the pieces and try and put things together as best she can. So, yeah,
Also beyond the thing with the cameras, there's the whole thing with the changing aspect ratios, which I found kind of obnoxious.
yeah. Oh, and the gauzy color choices. There's a lot of visual frippery going on
But
here.
like, I was trying to understand the logic behind it, because at the moment where like the thing happens, like it goes to more of like, it's not, I don't know if it's an Academy ratio, but it goes from like a widescreen to more of like a smaller boxiness. Is it like to convey a sense of claustrophobia perhaps? I don't, is it just to have yet one more stylistic quiver?
Make it look like television? I don't know. I don't know.
But it's a distraction.
It is a distraction. I think, again, there are, I think if the movie hadn't been already so like trying to flash and dazzle us so much, that kind of thing would have stood out as like a moment. But you're right. In context, it just becomes another like, woohoo, look at me, I'm directing,
Another thing, right? I liked Krisha. Did you like It Comes at Night?
I've not seen either of his other films.
Okay. Krisha was pretty impressive because it all takes place in like his aunt's house. Like he
Right.
did it all like total like indie shoestring, low budget. It's like his family members are playing versions of themselves, and
Yeah.
it was shot in like someone's actual house. And he was exciting, and I guess he still has an exciting young voice, but
Sure,
I wish he would just settle the fuck down.
No. I mean, I'm curious to see what he does next. I need to go back and see those other films, because I know like It Comes at Night annoyed some people in that A24 horror movie way. If it got sold as one thing, but it's really something else. But apparently, if you're okay with the something else that it is, it's pretty good. Yeah. So but I've been hearing so much about this movie. I was really looking forward to it, and I was shocked at how cold it left me in so many ways.
And there are people we know who say like, I was sobbing. Like I was
Yeah.
never even borderline sobbing.
No.
Is it because we're cold-hearted, Matt? Is
Yes.
that what it is? You were going to say something. Your hand is like making a motion like you want to say
No, you were talking about A24 and their horror stuff. We were talking about In Fabric, and
Oh, yeah.
which I
Oh,
want
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
to
We
see.
gotta
but
do that.
We need
but
to
that's
see it.
definitely happening with In Fabric, because the In Fabric trailer has a completely different vibe than the movie has.
Yeah, I was saying, because the movie's more of a dark satire than it is a horror film, right?
Well, there's horror
With horror
it's,
elements.
It's almost it's somewhere between Dario Argento and Black Mirror.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll
I
talk-
like
we'll-
all that.
But that's not what the trailer
Conveys.
conveys
All right.
at all.
Well, we'll catch up and
We
we'll
will for
talk
sure.
about it.
So I'm saying 7.
I said 6.5.
You said 7 also.
7?
Do
Oh,
you wanna
7. 7 it
change?
is. I'll go with 7.
Number
yeah.
7.
And what is it on the tomato meter?
Is it 85%? Again, the performances are all really strong. Sterling K. Brown is like terrifying and heartbreaking, and
Yeah.
he's always great. But yikes. Okay.
Yeah, there's a good movie in there somewhere, but you got to work through a lot of stuff. All right, hey, thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and visit us at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay, where we offer our TV recaps of all your favorite shows, The Mandalorian and The Watchmen, and
The Watchmen.
and every single
Those
Watchman,
Watchmen.
and His Dark
A
Materials,
Watchman.
and The Morning Show. I still don't know who the black dot in The Morning Show opening credits are. Is it Steve Carell? Do we know?
I think it's Reese Witherspoon.
Maybe. I need to know. Anyway, we also talk about trailers and news and all kinds of other stuff. So check that out, won't you? Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Hang on.
Oh, this is our last one. What's our a la carte
Our a
next
la
week?
carte is an old friend of mine named Adam Weissler, who is a longtime TV news producer. He's been like a producer and an on-air correspondent at Extra, and he has interviewed.
Astra?
No, he's
Ed Asner?
Yes, all the above. He's interviewed every celebrity, every musician he's seen, every band live. We talk a lot about great music we've seen, and it's fun. It's fun.
Nice. All right. Well, join us for that. But until next.
Are we in Florida?
That's very interesting. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.